Sounds of Shakespeare Radio Theater Company presents William Shakespeare's Julius Ceasar.
Hence! Home, you idle creatures, get you home. Is this a holy day? You! Know you not, being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a laboring day without the sign of your profession?
Where's thy leather apron and thy rune? What dost thou with thy best apparel on? You, sir, what trade are you?
Truly, sir, in respect of a fine workman, I am but, as you would say, a cobbler.
But what trade art thou? Answer me directly.
A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is, indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls.
What trade, thou knave, thou naughty knave? What trade?
Nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me. Yet, if you be out, sir, I can mend you.
Meanest thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy fellow?
Why, sir, cobble you.
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
Truly, sir, all that I live by is with the all. I meddle with no tradesmen's matters, no women's matters, but with all. I am indeed, sir, surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them, as proper men as ever trode upon neat leathers have gone upon my handiwork.
But wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work, huh? But indeed, sir, we make holy day to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph.
Wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home?
Indeed.
What tributaries follow him to Rome to grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels? You, blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things! Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome! Knew you not Pompey?
Pompey!
Many a time and oft have you climbed up to the walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yea, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariots but appear, have you not made an universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sound vein in her concave shores?
Indeed.
And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now call out a holy? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone!
Gone.
Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must lighten this ingratitude.
Go, good countrymen, and for this fault, assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to Tiber banks, and weep your tears into the channel, till the lowest stream do kiss the most exalted shores of all.
Right.
See whether their basest metal be not moved. They vanish tongue-tied into their guiltiness. Go you down that way towards the capital. This way will I disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so, friends? You know it is the feast of Nuptials.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. All about, and drive away the vulgar from the streets. So do you too where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch, who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness.
Calpurnia! He's home! Calpurnia!
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius' way, and he doth run his course. Antonius?
Caesar, my lord.
Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia. For our elders say the barons, touched in this holy chase, take off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Set on, and leave no ceremony out. Who calls?
Bid every noise be still. He set a game.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music, cries Caesar.
speak. Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the eyes of man.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you.
Beware the eyes of man.
Let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
The eyes of man.
He is a sleeper. Let us leave him. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil perhaps to my behaviors. But let not, therefore, my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection by some other thing.
'Tis just, and it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow. I have heard, where many of the best respect in Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and groaning underneath this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear, and, since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of. And be not jealous on me, gentle Brutus. Were I a common laugher, or did use to stale with ordinary odes my love to every new protester, if you know that I do fawn on men and hug them hard, and after scandal them, or if you know that I profess myself in banqueting to all the rout, then hold me dangerous.
What means this shouting? Here the people choose Caesar for their king.
Do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart on me? If it to be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be as live to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar. So were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once upon a raw and dusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy. But ere we could arrive the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I the tired Caesar.
And this man is now become a god. And Cassius is a wretched creature and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but gnawed on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their colour fly, and that same eye whose bend doth awe the world did lose his lustre. I did hear him groan, aye, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their good books, alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Titinius," as a sick girl. Ye gods, it doth amaze me. A man of such feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus. And we, petty men, walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable braves. Men at some time are masters of their fates. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together. Yours is as fair a name. Sound them. It doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them. It is as heavy. Conjure with them. Brutus will start a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now, in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed that he is grown so great? Age, thou art shamed! Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. When went there by an age since the great flood, but it was famed with more than with one man? When could they say till now, that talked of Rome, that her wide walls encompassed but one man? Now is it Rome indeed, and room enough, when there is in it but one only man. Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say, there was a Brutus once that would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome, as easily as a king.
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times, I shall recount hereafter. For this present, I would not. So with love I might entreat you, be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus hath rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve, and he will, after his sour fashion, tell you what hath proceeded worthy note today.
I will do so. Look you, Cassius, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chidden train. Calpurnia's cheek is pale, and Cicero looks with such ferret and such fiery eyes, as we have seen him in the Capitol being crossed in conference by some senators.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonius, Caesar, let me have such men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman, and well given.
Would he were fatter! But I fear him not. Yet, if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He's a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself, and scorned his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease, whilst they behold greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this here is death. and tell me truly what thou thinkst of her.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why? You were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus. And then the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that, too.
Well, they shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that, too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, marry, wast. And he put it by thrice every time, gentler than other. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbors shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
What?
Antony? Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. 'Twas mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown neither, 'twas one of these coronets. And as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then Antony offered it to him again. Then he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then Antony offered it the third time. Caesar put it the third time by, and still as he refused it, the rabblement hooted, and clapped their chapped hands, and threw up their sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swoonded and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But soft, I pray you, what did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at the mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the failing sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. But you and I, and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that. But I am sure Caesar fell down. If the tag-rag people did not clap him and hiss him according as he pleased and displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theater, I am no true man.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Marry, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he plucked me ope his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. And had I been a man of any occupation, I would not have taken him at a word. I would go to hell amongst the rogues. And so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said, if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that he came thus sad away?
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I can tell you that, I'll ne'er look you in the face again. But those that understood him smiled at one another, and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news, too. Marulus and Flavius, for pulling scarfs off Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
No, I am promised for.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick metal when he went to school.
So is he now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise, however he puts on this tardy form. This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
And so it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore, it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their likes, for who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now, and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will, this night, in several hands, in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
What? Lucia, ho! I cannot, by the progress of the stars, give guess how near today. Lucia, I say, would it were my fault to sleep so soundly. When, Lucia, when? Awake, I say, what, Lucia?
I called you, my lord.
Get me a taper in my study, Lucia. When it is lighted, come and call me here.
I will, my lord.
It must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn him, but for the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves wary walking. Crown him? That. And then I grant we put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is, when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affection swayed more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, look in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may, then, lest he may, prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no color for the thing he is, fashion it thus, and what he is augmented would run to these and these extremities. And therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
The paper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper thus sealed up, and I am sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again. It is not day. Is not tomorrow, girl, the Ides of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
The exhalations whizzing in the air give so much light that I may read by them. Brutus, thou sleepst, awake, and see thyself. Shall Rome, etc., speak, strike, redress? Brutus, thou sleepst, awake. Such instigations have been oft dropped where I have took them up. Shall Rome, etc., this must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive, when he was called a king. Speak, strike, redress! Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise, if the redress will follow, thou receive thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March is wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate. Somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of the insurrection.
Sir, tis your brother Cassius at the door who doth desire to see you.
Is he alone?
No, sir, there are more with him.
Do you know them?
No, sir, their hats are plucked about their ears and half their faces buried in their cloaks, that by no means I may discover them by any mark of favor.
Hush, hush, let them enter.
No, sir.
They are the faction.
Yes, sir.
O conspiracy, shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night, when evils are most free? Then by day where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none conspiracy, hide it in smiles and affability, for if thou pass thy native semblance on, not Erebus itself were dim enough to hide thee from prevention.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I have been up this hour awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them. And no man here but honors you. And every one doth wish you had but that opinion of yourself, which every noble Roman bears of you. This is Metellus.
He is welcome hither, my lord.
This, Decius Brutus.
He is welcome too.
This, Casca, Decina, and myself.
You are all welcome. What watchful cares do interpose themselves betwixt your eyes and night?
Shall I entreat a word?
Here lies the east. Doth not the day break here?
No.
Oh, pardon, sir, it doth. And yon grey lines that fret the clouds are messengers of day.
You shall confess that you are both deceived.
Yeah?
Here, as I point my sword, the sun arises, which is a great way growing on the south, weighing the youthful season of the year. Some 2 months hence, up higher toward the north, he first presents his fire. And the high east stands as the capital directly here.
Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls the times abuse. If these be motives weak, break off betimes, and every man hence to his idle bed. So let high-sighted tyranny range on, till every man drop by lottery. But if these, as I am sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards and to steel with valor the melting spirits of women, then, countrymen, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? What other bond than secret Romans that have spoke the word and will not palter? And what other oath than honesty to honesty engaged, that this shall be, or we will fall for it? Swear, priests and cowards and men cautelous, old feeble carrions and such suffering souls that welcome wrongs unto bad causes swear, such creatures as men doubt, but do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise, nor the insuppressive metal of our spirits, to think that our cause or our performance did need an oath, when every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy, if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him.
But what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us.
Let us not leave him out.
No, by no means.
Oh, let us have him, for his silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said, his judgment ruled our hands. Our youths in wildness shall no whit appear, but all be buried in his gravity.
Oh, name him not. Let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin.
Then leave him out.
Indeed, he is not fit.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. Oh, we shall find of him a shrewd contriver, and, you know, his means, if he improve them, may well stretch so far as to annoy us all, which, to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
True, very true. Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius. To cut the head off and then hack the limbs, like wrath and death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand up against the spirits of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, that we then could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But, alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And, gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for the hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants to an active rage, and after seem to chide them. This shall make our purpose necessary and not envious, which so appealing to the common eyes, we shall be called purgers, not murderers. And for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I do fear him, for in the engrafted love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he do is to himself. Take thought and die for Caesar. And that were much he should, for he is given to sports, to wildness, and much company.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace, peace. Count the clock.
The clock has stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late. Quite from the main opinion he held once of fantasy, of dreams and ceremonies. It may be these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of his augurers may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. He so loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says so. He does, being then most flattered. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour. Is that the uttermost?
Caius Ligarius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you have thought of him.
Now, good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I have given him reasons. Send him but hither, and I'll fashion him.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus. And friends, disperse yourselves. But all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. And so good morrow to you, every one. Girl, Lucia, fast asleep? It is no matter. Enjoy the honey-heavy dew of slumber. Thou hast no figures nor no fantasies, which busy care draws in the brains of men. Therefore thou sleeps so sound.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw cold morning.
Not for yours neither. You've ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight, at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted. Yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humor which sometime hath its hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What, is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the vile contagion of the night, and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus. You have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees I charm you, by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me, yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have had to resort to you. For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from the darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted that I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself but, as it were, in sort or limitation? To keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? While I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then I should know this secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secret?
Oh, ye gods! Render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad brows. Leave me, with haste. Lucia, who's that knocks?
He's a sick man that would speak with you.
Caius Ligarius, that Metellus spake of. Lucia, stand aside. Caius Ligarius, how?
Vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue.
Oh, what a time have you choose out, brave Caius, to wear a kerchief which you were not sick.
I'm not sick, if Brutus have in hand any exploit worthy the name of honor.
Such an exploit have I in hand, Ligarius. Had you a healthful ear to hear of it?
Oh, by all the gods the Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. Soul of Rome, brave son derived from honorable loins, thou like an exorcist hast conjured up my mortified spirit. Now bid me run, and I will strive with things impossible, yea, get the better of them. What's to do?
A piece of work that will make sick men whole.
But are not some whole that we must make sick?
That must we also. What it is, my Caius, I shall unfold to thee as we are going to whom it must be done.
Set on your foot, and with a heart new fired I follow you. To do I know not what, but it sufficeth that Brutus meets me on.
Follow me, then.
Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help, ho! They murder Caesar!" Who's within?
My lord.
Go. Bid the priests do present sacrifice, and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons and ranked form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these are things beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided, whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth. But these predictions are to the world in general, as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their death. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurers?
They would not have you stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within a beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart, if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions, littered in one day, and I the elder and more terrible. And Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house, and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me upon my knee prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus. He shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate House.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators, and tell them that I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not falser. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arms so far to be afraid to tell greybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statua, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
No, Caesar, this dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood from many pipes in which so many smiling Romans bathed signifies that from you, great Rome, shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
And this way you have well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid.
Afraid?
Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to our proceeding bids me to tell you this, and reason to my love is ever liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I'm ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, or I will go.
Yes, my lord.
And look where Brutus has come to fetch me.
Good morrow, Caesar.
Welcome, Brutus. What, Brutus, are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Casca. Caius Ligarius. Caesar was ne'er so much your enemy as that same ague which hath made you lean. What is it o'clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See, Antony, that revels long o' nights, is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony. Bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for. Now, Cinna, now, Metellus. What, Trebonius? I have an hour's talk in store for you, Brutus. Remember that you call on me today. Be near me, that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will. And so near will I be that your best friend shall wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in, and taste some wine with me, and we, like friends, will straightway go together.
That every like is not the same, O Caesar, the heart of Brutus yearns to think upon.
I prithee, girl, run to the Senate House. Say not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
On my errand, madam.
I would have had thee there and here again, ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. Oh, constancy be strong upon my side, but a huge mountain between my heart and tongue. I have a man's mind, but a woman's mind. How hard is it for women to keep counsel? Art thou here yet?
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else? And so return to you and nothing else?
Yes. Bring me word, girl, if thy lord look well. For he went sickly forth. And take good note what Caesar doth. What suitors press to him. Oh, girl, what noise is that?
I hear nothing, madam.
Prithee, listen well. I heard a bustling rumor, like a fray, and the wind brings it from the capital.
Sooth, madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither, fellow. Which way hast thou been?
Mine own house, lady.
What is o'clock?
About the 9th hour, lady.
Is Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Madam, not yet. I go to make my stand to see him pass on to the capital.
Thou hast some suit to Caesar, hast thou not?
That I have, lady. If it will please Caesar to be so good to Caesar as to hear me, I shall beseech him to befriend himself.
Why? Knowest thou any harms intended toward him?
Oh, none that I know will be. Much that I fear may jag. Good morrow to you. Here the street is narrow. The throng that follows Caesar at the heels of senators, of praetors, common suitors, who crowd a feeble man almost to death. I'll get me to a place more void, and there speak to great Caesar as I come along.
I must go in. Ay me, how weak a thing the heart of woman is. Oh, Brutus, the heavens speed thee in thine enterprise. Sure the girl heard me. Brutus, hast a suit that Caesar will not grant? Oh, I grow faint. Run, Lucia, and commend me to my lord. Say I am merry. Come to me again, and bring me word what he doth say to thee.
The Ides of March are come.
But not
What said Popilius Lena?
He wished today our enterprise might thrive. I fear our purpose is discovered.
Look, how he makes to Caesar. Mark him.
Casca, be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant. Popilius Lena speaks not of our purposes. For look, he smiles, and Caesar doth not change.
Trebonius knows his time. For look you, Brutus, he draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus Cimber? Let him go, and presently prefer his suit to
He
Caesar.
is addressed. Press near and second him.
Are we all ready?
Hail, Caesar!
What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must address? Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thy seat a humble heart. I must prevent thee, Metellus. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men, and turn pre-ordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melteth fools. I mean sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother, by decree, is banished. If thou dost beg, and pray, and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar. Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant, of the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine, but there's but one in all doth hold his place. So in the world 'tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood, and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one, that unassailable holds on his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it, even in this, that I was constant, Cimber should be banished, and constant to remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence! Wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me! Ah! And fall, Caesar!
Liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead. Grant hence proclaim, cry it about in the streets.
Come to the common pulpit and cry out liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement.
People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not, stand stiff. Ambition's debt is paid.
Go to the pulpit, Brutus.
And Cassius, too.
Where's Publius?
Here, quite confounded with this mutiny.
Stand fast together, lest some friend of Caesar's should chance. Talk not of standing. Publius, good cheer. There is no harm intended to your person, nor to no Roman else. So tell them, Publius.
And leave us, Publius, lest that the people rushing on us should do your age some mischief.
Do so, and let no man abide this deed, but we the doers.
Where is Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, wives, and children stare, cry out and run as it were doomsday.
Pates, we will know your pleasures, that we shall die. We know 'tis but the time, and drawing days out, that men stand upon.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that, and then is death a benefit. So are we Caesar's friends, that have abridged his time of fearing death. Stoop, Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows, and besmear our swords. Then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons o'er our head, let all cry peace, freedom, and liberty!
Stoop then, and walk. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over, in states unborn and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sport, then now on Pompey's basis lies along, no worthier than the dust?
So oft as that shall be, so often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
What, show we forth?
Aye, every man away. Brutus shall lead, and we will grace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
Who comes here? A friend of Antony.
Thus did my master bid me kneel. Thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down, and being prostrate, thus he bade me say, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say I love Brutus, and I honor him. Say I feared Caesar, honored him, and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come to him, and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead so well as Brutus living, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus throughout the hazards of this untrod state with all true faith. So says my friend Antony.
Thy friend is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell him. So please him come unto this place, he shall be satisfied, and by my honor depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
I know that we shall have him well to friend.
I wish we may, but yet have I a mind that fears him much, and my misgiving still falls shrewdly to the purpose.
But here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Oh, mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now, whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no mean of death, as here by Caesar, and by you cut off, the choice and master spirits of this age.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands and this our present act, you see we do, yet see you but our hands, and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not. They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity hath done this deed on Caesar. For your part, to you our swords have leaden points, Mark Antony. Our arms, in strength of malice, and our hearts of brother's temper, do receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver you the cause. Why, I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Caius Cassius, do I take your hand. Now, Decius Brutus, yours. Now yours, Metellus. Yours, my valiant Casca, yours. Though last, not last in love, yours, good Trebonius. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer, that I did love thee, Caesar. Oh, 'Tis true. Then thy spirit look upon us now. Shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Anthony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes, most noble, in the presence of thy corse? Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Pardon me, Julius. Here wast thou bade, brave heart. Here didst thou fall, and here thy hunters stand, signed in thy spoil, and crimsoned in thy leaf. O world, thou wast the forest to this heart, and this, indeed, O world, the heart of thee. How like a deer, strucken by many princes, dost thou lie.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. Enemies of Caesar shall say this. Then, in a friend, it is cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friend am I with you all, and love you all, upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek, and am moreover suitor, that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak in his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself into the pulpit first, and show the reason of our Caesar's death. What Antony shall speak, I will protest he speaks by leave and by permission, and that we are contented Caesar shall have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. It shall advantage more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not, in your funeral speech, blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do't by our permission. Else shall you not have any hand at all about his funeral, and you shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going, after my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body, then, and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood! Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which, like dumb mouths, do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. All pity choked with custom of fell deeds, and Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, with Ate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war! That this foul deed shall smell above the earth with carrion men, groaning for a burial. You've seen Octavius Caesar, have you not?
I have, Mark Antony.
Caesar did right for him to come to Rome.
He did receive his letters and is coming, and bid me say to you by word of mouth, oh, Caesar.
Thy heart is big, and get thee apart and weep. Passion, I see, is catching, for mine eyes, seeing those beads of sorrow stand in thine, began to water. Is thy master coming?
He lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed, and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome. No Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence, and tell him so. Yet, stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this course into the marketplace. There shall I try in my oration how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody men, according to the which thou shalt discourse to your Octavius the state of things. lend me your hand. You have tears. Prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. It was on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the nervi. Look, in this place ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made? Casca? Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors, to be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all.
I say again, yes.
For when noble Caesar saw him stabbed, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and, in his mantle muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statua, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. What a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I, and you, and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the tint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what? Weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself, marred, as you see, with traitors.
Oh, noble Caesar!
Oh, traitors, villains!
Oh, the bloody sight!
We will be revenged! Revenge!
Stay, countrymen! Stay, countrymen!
We will hear him! We will follow him! We will die with him!
Good, friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. Oh, they that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will, no doubt, with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is. But as you know me all, a plain, blunt man, that love my friends, and they that know full well that gave me public leave to speak for him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood.
Antony is honorable.
I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know.
Exactly.
Show you sweet Caesar's wounds. Poor dumb mouths. And bid them speak for me. Oh, but were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony, would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny! Yes, yet hear me, countrymen! Yet hear me speak! Why, friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgot the will I told you. Here is the will. Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal. To every Roman plebeian he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas.
Most noble Caesar, we will revenge his death!
Hear me with patience. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors and new planted orchards on this side of the Tiber. He hath left them you.
What else?
And to your heirs forever, common pleasures, to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
I'll let it work. Mischief, thou art afoot. Take thou what thou wilt. How now, Ambassador?
Sir, Octavius is already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
Thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
I heard him say Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
It'd be like they had some notice of the people. How I had moved them. Let's on to Octavius.
I dreamt tonight that I did feast with Caesar, and things unlikely charge my fantasy. I have no will to wander forth of doors, yet something leads me from...
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell?
Are you a married man or a bachelor? Answer every man directly.
I am the priestess.
And wisely.
And truly, you are best.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Whether do I dwell? Am I a married man or bachelor? And to answer every man directly and briefly, wisely, and truly wisely, I say I am a bachelor.
Not as much as to say. They are fools that marry. You bear me a bedding for that one, I fear. Proceed directly.
Well, directly I am going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or an enemy?
As a friend.
Does that matter? Answer directly. Where are you dwelling? Briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the capital.
Your name, sir?
Truly, my name is Sinner. No, I am Sinner the poet. I am Sinner the poet.
Scare him for his bad verses. Scare him for his bad verses.
Oh, I am not Sinner the conspirator.
It's no matter. His name's Sinner. But his name out of his heart and turn him going.
These many, then, shall die. Their names are pricked.
Your brother, too, must die. Consent you, Lepidus?
I do consent.
Prick him down, Antony.
Upon condition Publius shall not live, who is your sister's son, Mark Antony.
He shall not live. Look, with a mark I damn him. But, Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house. Fetch the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge and legacy.
What shall I find you here?
Or here, or at the capital.
This is a slight, unmeritable man. Me to be sent on errands. Is it fit, the threefold world divided, he should stand one of the three to share it?
So you thought him, and took his voice, who should be pricked to die, in our black sentence and prescription.
Octavius, I've seen more days than you. And though we lay these honors on this man to ease ourselves of divers slanderous loads, he shall but bear them, as the ass bears gold. To groan and sweat under the business, either led or driven, as we point the way. And having brought our treasure where we will, then take we down his load and turn him off, like to the empty ass, to shake his ears and graze in commons.
You may do your will, but he is a tried and a valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. For that I do appoint him store of provender. It is a creature that I teach to fight, to wind, to stop, to run directly on, his corporal motion governed by my spirit, and in some taste is Lepidus but so. He must be taught and trained and bid go forth, barren-spirited fellow. One that feeds on abjects, orts, and imitations,
Antony.
which out of use and staled by other men begin his fashion.
Antony.
Do not talk of him but as a property. And now, Octavius, listen great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head. Therefore let our alliance be combined, our best friends made, our means stretched, and let us presently go sit in council, how covert matters may be best disclosed, and open perils surest answered.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake, and bade about with many enemies, and some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischief.
Stand ho!
Give the word ho and stand.
What now, Pindarus? Is Cassius near?
He is at hand, and Pindarus is come to do you salutation from his master.
He greets me well. Your master, Pindarus, in his own change or by ill officers, hath given me some worthy cause to wish things done undone. But if he be at hand, I shall be satisfied.
I do not doubt but that my noble master will appear, such as he is, full of regard and honor.
He is not doubted. My letter, Pindarus, how he receives it, let me be resolved.
With courtesy and with respect enough, but not with such familiar instances, nor with such free and friendly conference as he hath used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend cooling. Every note, Pindarus. When love begins to sicken and decay, it useth an enforced ceremony. There are no tricks in plain and simple faith, but hollow men, like horses hot at hand, make gallant show and promise of their mettle. But when they should endure the bloody spur, they fall their crest, and like deceitful jades sink in the trial. Comes his army on.
They mean this night in Sardis to be quartered. The greater part, the horse in general, are come with Cassius.
Hark! He is arrived. March gently on to meet him.
Stand ho!
Stand ho! Speak the word along.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, ye gods! Wrong I, mine enemies. And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus! This sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do them...
Cassius, be content. Speak your griefs softly. I do know you well. Before the eyes of both our armies here, which should perceive nothing but love from us, let us not wrangle. Bid them move away. Then in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience.
Pindarus,
Lord.
bid our commanders lead their charges off a little from this ground.
Pindarus, do you the like, and let no man come to our tent till we have done our conference.
Aye, my lord.
Let Lucia and Clytus guard our door.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters praying on his side, because I knew the man were slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet that every knight's offense should bear his comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and mart your offices for gold to underservers.
I, an itching palm? You know that you are Brutus that speak this, or by the gods, this speech were else your last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement?
Remember March, the Ides of March. Remember, did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain touched his body that did stab, and not for justice? What? Shall one of us, that struck the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes, and sell the mighty space of our large honors for such trash as may be grasped thus? I had rather be a dog and bay at the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bay not me. I'll not endure it. You forget yourself. To hedge me in, I am a soldier. I, older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to, you are not Cassius.
I am!
I say you are not!
Urge me no more. I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health. Tempt me no further.
Away, slight man.
If possible.
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frighted when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods! Ye gods! Must I endure all this?
All this! Aye, more. Fret till your proud heart break. Go show your slaves how choleric you are, and make your bondmen tremble. Must I budge? Must I observe you? Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the gods! You shall digest the venom of your spleen. though it do split you, for from this day forth I'll use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter, when you are waspish.
Is it come to this?
You say you are a better soldier? Let it appear so. Make your vaunting true, and it shall please me well. For my own part, I shall be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus! I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
Caesar lived. He durst not thus have moved me.
Peace, peace! You durst not have so tempted him.
I durst not!
No.
What durst not tempt him?
For your life you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed, so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind, which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold, which you denied me, for I can raise no money by vile means. By heaven, I had rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by any indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so, when Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to lock such rascal counters from his friends? Be ready, gods, with all your thunderbolts! Dash him to pieces!
I denied you not.
You did!
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath arrived to my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not, till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye could never see such faults.
A flatterer's would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, and young Octavius, come, revenge yourselves alone on Cassius, for Cassius is aweary of the world, hated by one he loves, braved by his brother, checked like a bondman, all his faults observed, set in a notebook, learned and conned by rote to cast into my teeth. Oh, I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. There is my dagger, and here my naked breast, within a heart dearer than Plutus mine, richer than gold if thou beest a Roman. Take it forth. I that denied thee gold will give my heart. Strike as thou didst at Caesar, for I know when thou didst hate him worst, thou lovest him better than thou lovest Cassius.
Sheath your dagger. Be angry when you will, it shall have scope. Do what you will, dishonor shall be humor. Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb that carries anger as the flint bears fire, who much in force shows a hasty spark, straight is cold again.
Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him.
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered, too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
And my heart, too.
Oh, Brutus.
What's the matter?
Have not you love enough to bear with me, when that rash humor which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. And from henceforth, when you are over-earnest with your Brutus, he'll think your mother chides and leave you so.
Let me go in to see the generals. There is some grudge between them. 'Tis not me they be alone. Nothing but death shall stay me.
How now? What's the matter?
Oh, shame, you generals, what do you mean? Love and be friends is truth that men should be. Oh, I have seen more years, I'm sure, than ye.
How vilely doth this cynic rhyme?
Get you hence, sirrah, saucy fellow. Hence!
Oh, bear with him, Brutus. 'Tis his fashion.
I'll know his humor when he knows his time. What should the wars do with these jigging fools? Companion, hence!
Away, be gone!
Lucilius and Titinius, bid the commanders pair to lodge their companies tonight.
And come yourselves. And bring Messala with you. Immediately to us.
Lucia, a bowl of wine.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Cassius, I am sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Huh? Portia?
She is dead.
How escaped I killing when I crossed you so? Oh, insupportable and touching loss. Upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and grief that young Octavius with Mark Antony have made themselves so strong. For with her death the tidings came. With this she fell distract, and her attendants, absent, swallowed fire.
And died so?
Even so.
Oh, ye immortal gods!
Speak no more of her. Give me a bowl of wine. In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. Fill, Lucia, till the wine or swell the cup. I cannot drink too much of Brutus' love.
Come in, Messala. Welcome, good Messala. Now sit we close about this taper here, and call in question our necessities.
Portia, art thou gone?
No more, I pray you. Messala, I have received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor.
With what addition?
That by prescription and bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
Therein our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators that died by their prescriptions, Cicero being one.
Cicero one?
Cicero is dead, and by that order of prescription. Had you your letters from your wife, my lord?
No, Messala.
Nor nothing in your letters writ of her?
Nothing, Messala.
That methinks is strange.
Why ask you? Here you ought of her in yours.
No, my lord.
Now, as you are a Roman, tell me true.
Then, like a Roman, bear the truth I tell. For certain, she is dead, and by strange manner.
Why, farewell, Portia. We must die, Messala. With meditating that she must die once, I have the patience to endure it now.
Even so, great men, great losses should endure.
I have as much of this in art as you, but yet my nature could not bear it so.
Well, to our work alive. What do you think of marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This it is. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reason must, of force, give place to better. The people, twixt Philippi and this ground, do stand but in a forced affection, for they have grudged us contribution. The enemy, marching along by them shall make a fuller number up, come on afresh, new added and encouraged. From which advantage shall we cut him off? If at Philippi we do face him here, these people at our back.
Hear me, good brother.
Under your pardon, you must note beside that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful, our cause is ripe. The enemy increaseth every day. We, at the height, are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat. And we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures.
Then, with your will, go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
The deep of night is crept upon our talk, and nature must obey necessity, which we will niggard with a little rest. There is no more to say.
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow will we rise and hence.
Lucia, my gown. Farewell, good Messala. Good night, Titinius. Noble Cassius. Good night, and good repose.
Oh, my dear brother, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never come such division between our souls. Let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Good night, good brother.
Good night, Lord Brutus.
Farewell, everyone. Give me the gowns, Lucia. Where is thy instrument?
Here in the tent.
What? Thou speakst drowsily? Poor girl, I blame thee not. Thou art o'erwatched. Call Clytus and some of my men. I'll have them sleep on cushions in my tent.
Clytus?
Calls, my lord.
I pray you, sir, lie in my tent and sleep. It may be I shall rise you by and by on business to my brother Cassius.
So please you, I will stand and watch your pleasure.
I will not have it so. Lie down, good sir. It may be I shall otherwise bethink me. Look, Lucia, here's the book I sought for, so I put it in the pocket of my gown.
I was sure your lordship did not give it me.
Bear with me, sweet girl, I am much forgetful. Canst thou hold up thy heavy eyes a while and touch thy instrument a strain or two?
Aye, my lord, and it please you.
It does, sweet girl. I trouble thee too much, but thou art willing.
It is my duty, sir.
I should not urge thy duty past thy might. I know young bloods look for a time of rest.
I have slept, my lord, already.
It was well done, and thou shalt sleep again. I will not hold thee long. If I do live, I will be good to thee. Oh, this is a sleepy tune. Oh, murderous slumber, lay'st thou thy leaden mace upon my girl that plays thee music? Gentle one, good night. I will not do thee so much wrong to wake thee. If thou dost not, thou break'st thy instrument. I'll take it from thee, and, good girl, good night. Let me see. Is not the leaf turned down where I left reading? Here it is, I think. How ill this taper burns. Oh, who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. It comes upon me. Art thou anything? Art thou some god, some angel, some devil? Makes my blood cold and my hair to stare. Speak to me what thou art.
Thy evil spirit, Rufus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Well, then I shall see thee again.
Aye, at Philippi.
Why, I will see thee at Philippi then. Now I have taken heart. Thou vanishest. Ill spirit, I would hold more talk with thee. Lucia, Clytus. Awake, Clytus.
The strings, my lord, are false.
Oh, she thinks she is still at her instrument. Lucia, awake.
My lord.
Didst thou dream, Lucia, that thou so criest out?
My lord, I do not know that I did cry.
Yes, that thou didst. Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lord.
Sleep again, Lucia. Sirrah, Clytus, fellow, thou awake.
My lord.
Why did you so cry out, sir, in your sleep?
Did I, my lord?
I saw you anything.
Oh, no, my lord, I saw nothing.
Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him set on his powers betimes before, and we will follow.
It shall be done, my lord. Now, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering before we do demand of them.
I am in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places, and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage. But 'tis not so.
Prepare you, generals. The enemy comes on in gallant show. Their bloody sign of battle is hung out, and something to be done immediately.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on, upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand, I. Keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigent?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
They stand and would have parley.
Stand fast, Antonius. We must out and talk. Mark Antony, shall we give sign of battle?
No, Caesar. We will answer on their charge. Make forth. The generals will have some words.
Stir not until a signal.
Words before blows. Is it so, countrymen?
Not that we love words better as you do.
Good words are better than bad strikes, Octavius.
In your bad strikes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live, hail Caesar!"
Antony, the posture of your blows are yet unknown. But for your words, they rob the hive of bees and leave them honeyless.
Not finished.
Oh, yes, and soundless, too. For you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains! You did not so, when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondsmen, kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca, like a cur, behind struck Caesar on the neck. Ah, you flatterers.
Flatterers! Now, Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue had not offended so today, if Cassius might have ruled. Come, the cause.
If arguing make us sweat, the proof of it will turn to redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When think you that the sword goes up again? Never! Till Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or till another Caesar have added slaughter to the sword of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands, unless thou bringst them with thee.
So I hope. I was not born to die on Brutus.
Oh, if thou wert the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorably.
A peevish schoolboy, worthless of such honor, joined with a masker and a reveler.
Oh, Cassius, still.
Come, Antony, away. Defiance! Traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs.
Why now, blow wind, swell billow, and swim bark. The storm is up and all is on the hazard. Messala!
What says my general?
Messala, this is my birthday, as this very day was Cassius born. Give me thy hand, Messala. Be thou my witness that against my will, as Pompey was, am I compelled to set upon one battle all our liberties. You know that I held Epicurus strong, and his opinion. Now I change my mind, and partly credit things that do presage. Coming from Sardis, on our former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands. Who to Philippi here consorted us. This morning are they fled away and gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly o'er our heads and downward look on us, as we were sickly prey. The shadows seem a canopy most fatal under which our army lies, ready to give up the ghost.
Believe not so.
I but believe it partly, for I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils very constantly. Now, most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men rest still uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the very last time we shall speak together. What are you, then, determined to do?
Even by the rule of that philosophy, by which I did blame Cato for the death which he did give himself, I know not how, but I do find it cowardly and vile, for fear of what might fall, so to prevent the time of life, arming myself with patience to stay the providence of some high powers that govern us below.
Then, if we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome?
No, Cassius, no. Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must end that work the Ides of March began, and whether we shall meet again I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take, forever and forever. Farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why, we shall smile. If not, why then this parting was well made.
Forever and forever, farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, you'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true this parting was well made.
Why, then, lead on. Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. But it suffices that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come, ho, away! Ride, Messala, ride, and give these bills unto the legions on the other side. Let them set on at once, for I perceive but cold demeanor in Octavius' wing, and sudden push, give them the overflow. Ride, ride, Messala, and let them all come down. Yah!
Oh, look, Ligarius, look, the villains fly. Myself have for mine own turned enemy. This ensign here of mine is turning back. I slew the coward and did take it from him.
Oh, Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early. and having some advantage on Octavius, took it too eagerly. His soldiers felt the spoil, was fleed by Antony are all enclosed.
Fly further off, my lord! Fly further off! Mark Antony is in your tents, my lord. Fly, therefore, noble Cassius. Fly far off!
This hill is far enough. Look, Ligarius. Are those my tents where I perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
Ligarius, thou lovest me. Mount thou my horse, and hide thy spurs in him till he have brought thee up to yonder troops. And here again, that I may rest assured whether yon troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with the thought.
Go, Pindarus, get higher on that hill. My sight was ever fit. Regard Ligarius, and tell me what thou noticed about the field.
Aye, my lord.
This day I breathe first. Time has come round, and where I did begin, there shall I end. My life is run, his compass. Sirrah, what news?
Oh, my lord!
What news?
Ligarius is closed round about with horsemen that make him on the spur. Yet he spurs on. Now they're almost on him. Now, Ligarius! Now some light. Oh, he lights too. He's saying, and hark, they shout for joy.
Come down. Behold no more. Coward that I am to live so long. See my best friend hanging before my face. Come hither, Sirrah. In Parthia did I take thee prisoner, and then I swore thee, saving of thy life, that whatsoever I did bid thee do, thou shouldst attempt it. Come now, keep thine oath. Now be a free man, and with this good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels, search this bosom.
What madness is it?
Stand not to answer. Here, take thou the hilt, and when my face is covered as it is now, guide thou the sword. Oh! Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee.
So I am free. If would not so have been, durst I have done my will. O Cassius, far from this country Pindarus shall run, where never Roman shall take note of him.
It is but change, Ligarius, for Octavius is overthrown by noble Brutus' power, as Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
All disconsolate, with Pindarus his bondsman on this hill.
Is not he that lies upon the ground?
He lies not like the living. Oh, my heart!
Is not that he?
No, this was he, Messala. Cassius is no more. Oh, setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink tonight, so in his red blood Cassius' day is set. The sun of Rome is set. Our day is gone. Clouds, dews, and dangers come, our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
Mistrust of good success hath done this deed. Oh, hateful error, melancholy's child. Why dost thou show the apt thoughts of men, the things that are not? Oh, error, soon conceived, thou never comest unto a happy birth, but kill'st mothers that endangered thee.
What, Pindarus? Where art thou, Pindarus?
Seek him, Ligarius, whilst I goes to meet the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into his ears. I may say thrusting it, for piercing steel and darts and venoms shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight.
Aye, you, Messala, and I will seek for Pindarus the while. Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? And did they not put on my brow this wreath of victory and bid me give it thee? Didst thou not hear their shouts? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. I hold thee. Take this garland on my brow. Thy Brutus bids me give it thee, and I will do his bidding. Brutus, come apace, and see how I regarded Caius Cassius. By your leave, gods, this is a Roman's part. Come, Cassius' sword, and find Ligarius' parts.
Where, Messala, doth his body lie? Lo, yonder, and Ligarius mourning it. Ligarius' face is upward. He is slain. Oh, Julius Ceasar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords in our own proper entrails. Brave Ligarius. Look whether he hath not crowned dead Cassius. Are yet 2 Romans living such as these, the last of all the Romans. Fare thee well. It is impossible that ever Rome should breed thy fellows. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I
I shall find time. Come, therefore, and to Theos send his body. His funeral shall not be in our camp, lest it discomfort us. Lucilius, come, and come, young Cato, let us to the field. Labeo and Flavius, set our battles on. 'Tis 3 o'clock, and Romans, yet ere night, we shall try fortune in a second fight! Yet, countrymen, oh, yet, hold up your heads!
What bastard doth not? Who'll go with me? I'll proclaim my name about the field. I'm the son of Marcus Cato, ho! A foe to tyrants and my country's friend. I'm the son of Marcus Cato, ho!
And I am Brutus, Marcus Brutus I. Brutus, my country's friend. Know me for Brutus!
Oh, young and noble Clitus, art thou down? Why, now thou diest as bravely as Ligurius, and mayst be honored, being Cato's son. Yield, or thou diest. Only I yield to die. Well, there's so much coin thou wilt kill me straight. Kill Brutus, and be honored in his death. I must not, noble prisoner. Tell Anthony Brutus is ta'en. Tell the news. Here comes the general. Brutus is ta'en. Brutus is ta'en.
Oh, where is he?
Safe, Antony. Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no enemy shall ever take alive the noble Brutus. The gods defend him from so great a shame. When you do find him, or alive or dead, he will be found like Brutus, like himself.
This is not Brutus, Lepidus. But I assure you a prize no less than worth. Keep this man safe. Give him all kindness. I'd rather have such men my friends than enemies. Go on. See whether Brutus be alive or dead, and bring us word unto Octavius's tent how everything is chanced.
So you're not Brutus.
Come, poor remains of friends. Rest on this rock.
Attilius showed the torchlight, but, my lord, he came not back. He's or ta'en or slain.
Sit thee down, Clitus. Slaying is the word. It is a deed in fashion. Hark thee, Clitus.
What I, my lord? No, not for all the world.
Peace, then. No words.
I'll rather kill myself.
Hark thee, Clitus.
Shall I do such a deed? What ill request does Brutus make to thee?
Kill him, Clitus. Look, he meditates.
Now is that noble vessel full of grief that it runs over even at his eyes.
Come hither, good Clitus Cato. List a word.
What says my lord?
Why this, Clitus. The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me several times by night. At Sardis once, and this last night here in Philippi fields. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I'm sure it is, Clitus. Thou seest the world, Clitus, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Clitus, thou knowest that we two went to school together, even for that our love of old. I prithee, hold thou my sword hilts whilst I run on it.
That's not an office for a friend, my lord.
Farewell to you, old friend, Clitus Cato. Countrymen, my heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man but he was true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony. By this vile conquest shall attain unto. So fare you well at once, for Brutus' tongue hath almost ended his life history. Night hangs upon mine eyes, my bones would rest, that have but labored to attain this hour.
Fly!
I prithee, Clitus, stand thou by thy lord. Thou art a fellow of good respect. Thy life hath had some match of honor in it. Hold then my sword and turn away.